What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, August 29th, 2017. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside me, Irish Cream.
Oh, yeah.
Danny O'Dwyer.
Cat got the cream.
Cat got the cream,
That's
and there
the
it
only
is.
other phrase I can think of.
Cat got the cream. Is that a phrase?
That's an idiom.
Is it? Cat got the cream? I'm not familiar with that one.
The cat got the cream.
I mean, are you guys?
The cat was
is
trying to
anyone
get
over
the
there?
cream.
I mean, I
and
know
then-
cats like milk and cream and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kindafunny.com/you're wrong if you're watching live and want to correct us if that's not a real turn of phrase.
Sure it is.
Amy Gills is watching. She'll let us know, I'm sure.
Cat. It's not an Irish thing.
Sure?
Cats love
You
cream
sure?
regardless.
Yes,
of,
I'm aware that they love cream. But I mean, that's like giraffe got the tree. That I mean, like I
Yeah.
know that's
Another-
that's a real phrase.
another great idiom. Yeah.
God damn it. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. We give you perspective, we answer your questions, we read your bad PSN names, and we have a good time. If you like that, you can watch live as we record it on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching there right now, remember, we don't read the chat. We make a polished podcast. You can only contribute if you go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong. Tell us what we screw up as we screw it up. At the end of the show, we set the record straight. Also, remember, if you're watching live, all tips donated today on our Twitch stream, we're doing everybody's golf after this, are going to the Red Cross for Harvey relief. So if you feel inclined to, go ahead and do that. Nick will be in to read those before I start playing some golf. If you're watching later, hey, you can get the show on youtube.com/kindafunnygames or podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you, there's a new party mode up. It's Drive Club VR. It's over at patreon.com/kindafunnygames. It's hilarious. I appreciate it. You need to stay all the way through the end, just like every Andy Cortez Let's Play. Tomorrow is the Nindy Showcase. Nintendo talking to some indies. It's going to be 10 a.m. We will be streaming it here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. Come watch along with us. 10 a.m. Me, Andy, Tim, seeing what these guys got up their sleeves. Maybe we're going to talk about what I think is going to happen there, because I think somebody might have kind of let the cat out of the bag as we get lower. But we'll get down in there in the rope
cat
report.
that got the cream.
Fucking shut up, Danny. God. Also, PAX is coming up. It's this weekend. Saturday at 5 is the What's Good Games panel. Go check out Andrea, see what she's up to. Saturday at 8:30 is my Batman crowd play. Sunday at noon, Danny's Witcher panel.
Yep.
Come see him. Sunday at noon as well is I'm signing at the Rooster Teeth booth.
So go to that, maybe.
No. I'm signing for like a long time, for like 2 hours. So I'm pretty sure you can go see the Witcher panel and come back.
We're witching for a good 90 minutes, maybe.
All right, then I don't. Do you like The Witcher that much? It's up to you. Who cares? There's a documentary coming. You know, make your choice.
Just watch that.
And I'll sign
all
stuff
good.
other places. And then Sunday at 5 p.m. is my cancer panel. Come see me cry. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. There are 5 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen!
Number 1, Danny, we are stupid as hell.
I know, right?
For weeks and weeks since the beginning of this show, we've been talking about PUBG and which console game would be the first to rip this off. And we were like, oh, it'll be Ubisoft. Oh, it'll be maybe they'll put in the Division. Maybe it'll be today. Grand Theft Auto Online's new update is live. It's the Smuggler's Run update that we knew about, that we talked about on the show before. But it also introduces new adversary mode, Motor Wars, blending the adrenaline rush of Drop Zone with the claustrophobic tension of a match of penned in.
See, they've taken 2 things that they already had.
They already did this. They clearly made this. This is their idea. This brutal adversary mode is a deadly scavenger hunt where second place is not an option. Up to 4 teams parachute into a periodically shrinking kill box strewn with a lethal assortment of guns, explosives, weaponized vehicles.
It's a box, not a circle.
Exactly. Not at all. Not the same thing. Work together, find a vehicle, and fight opposing teams and the shrinking map to survive and win.
To get that steak, get that
winner,
prime rib.
GTA steak dinner. That's what it's going to be. We knew it was coming. We knew somebody was going to do it. But man, I never ever thought about Grand Theft Auto Online. What a perfect fit for it.
Totally, and especially because over the past like 2 years, they've added in like loads of game modes that you wouldn't consider like traditional GTA Online game modes. Like they've gone crazy. Like they've basically just said whatever. They've opened up the toy box and shit's gone everywhere. Like the stuff they added in with all the crazy ramps and like all the different types of races you can do. You can combine so many different types of game modes to sort of make your own custom game modes now. Let alone all the sort of out of the meta game stuff that they've been adding in probably in the first year more so. So it kind of made sense for whatever reason when they designed GTA Online. they designed it in a way that has allowed them to expand it way beyond what we thought that game was supposed to be.
100%.
Especially in the...
We're going to do heists.
Right, exactly.
That's what I thought. We're going to do heists. We're going to exist in a world and do missions.
That cool stuff from the single player, we're going to do it in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Especially because it's Rockstar, because we traditionally have always been so like hands-on and tight with what they're doing with their games.
Yeah.
And the modding community has kind of done all the fun stuff. They've actually sort of adopted a lot of the fun stuff in it. So, yeah, I don't know. I blame Yves Guillemot for basically...
trying to plant that flag over and over. Stay away, Vivendi. We're going to do a PUBG kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, good fit. I mean... It's in a weird way. I feel like the thing that has that most people have a problem with GTA is the shooting mechanics and the cover mechanics, and I don't know. People are either turned off or turned on to it. Yeah. And a lot of the game modes in GTA, because they involve so many more other elements, they kind of get away with it. I don't know if I'd be able to play this. I'll have to give it a go. But considering that, like, the reason why PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds works is because the tightness of, even for like a buggy-ish game, for early access game, the tightness of the shooting is pretty good.
Sure.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, see, that's the thing for me, right? In PlayerUnknown Battleground, I've played it. I enjoy it. I'm like, when it comes to Xbox, I'll be all over it.
Right.
Just because I'm better with the controller. I feel I don't know how to use PC gaming and stuff. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. Everybody hates me.
It's a lot of buttons.
GTA though, like, and that was the thing of like, even when we were playing it and the party modes that are up right now for PUBG, and when we just play around the office and we don't record it, it is that thing of I'm good at camping and hiding and getting down to the final 10, but then it is the thing where I don't have the acumen. I don't know where to shoot from. I don't know how, I don't have that
distance.
That's a game where it's like you have to put so many hours in to get the most minuscule amount of shooting in to understand how to shoot better.
Right.
Whereas GTA, I've grown up with GTA. I was good at GTA Online when we'd run around and do those things. So this is actually more appealing to me in the way of I know the mechanics of that world. I know how to play that. I want to jump in and try this. And that's going to be the most interesting thing, is the fact that, I think before PUBG, and we were talking about all these Steam numbers all the time, we were always talking about, man, GTA 5 is still on the NPD. It is still it's the best-selling game in Europe this year. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is going on? And how is this still going on? How is it hanging on? And we asked recently on this show, to ask you guys, kindoffunny.com/KFGD, to write in and tell us why you're still playing or why you just picked it up. And so many people did. And this, I think, honestly, is going to be a big boon to that, of at least getting you back in. If you've played online and put it down, try this because it's kind of that. And then even for me, where I'm like, I'm more comfortable in that, and I've always seen people having a great time in GTA Online, and I've never really given it the time of day.
You're right. We literally just came back from Tennessee, where we shot a documentary about a GTA Online crew, Hillbilly Agenda, which will be coming out in the next couple of months. And like, one of the things we kept asking them was like, why this game? Why do it?
Yeah.
And they said the variety of stuff you can do in this game.
Sure.
Like, if I want to shoot things, I'll go shoot things. If I want to race, I'll race. If I want to hang out, but if I want to play a round of golf, they'll do that in GTA Online.
Yeah.
And this is just like another way of obviously keeping that crowd very entertained.
Yeah.
But this does have the other element of, there's a lot of people who bought Grand Theft Auto 5 who GTA Online is free, right? It's right there. It's just sitting there. It's updating, or it's not if you haven't got it installed. But you can go play it whenever you want if you've already have it. They have that install base. So it'll be interesting to see if this does actually pull in more people. And to the point of the whole, like GTA is such a different game. Like, the car physics and stuff in GTA are obviously a much higher degree of fidelity and caliber, than PUBG. And also the weapons that they use in that game are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to see what it's like.
I don't think it's going to be the same slow-paced affair as much as it's going to be more like, even the key art they use
inventory management's basically non-existent in Grand Theft Auto Online.
Sure.
Right?
And the key art they use looks more like Mad Max than it does PUBG, because it's cars racing at each other and all this stuff happening. And if you're in a team and stuff, it sounds super fun. I'd love to do a Let's Play of it, a party mode of it. Get in there and see. As a big PUBG fan, are you offended?
Not at all. I think this is always going to happen. Imitation's the best form of flattery. I think Brendan probably knew this was going to happen as well. And I feel like it's a different crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, honestly, it's a different audience.
Sure, yeah. And I knew it was going to happen eventually, and hey, why not? Let it be Rockstar, who makes great shit and also supports their community.
First of many.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't think this is it. This is the very first domino to topple.
For sure.
Number 2. Rest in peace, Miiverse. The Wii U and 3DS online service is shutting down. This is via GameSpot. Nintendo has announced the social networking service will shut down across all platforms worldwide on November 7th at 10 p.m. Pacific time. This will remove access to all Miiverse functionality, including messages and creating posts, as well as any in-game Miiverse-related features.
No!
For a limited time, Nintendo will allow Miiverse users to download copies of their posts. The process in doing so is up online. GameSpot's article links links to it. However, Shredberg wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD just like you can. It says, "Hi, Greg and Danny.
Hey, Shred.
Thanks for listening to the show when I tell you who's going to be on the next show. Huh? Andrea's tomorrow. Nintendo announced that on November 8th, he's foreign, the Miiverse will be shut down. While not dead yet, I wanted to give the Miiverse an official eulogy. Miiverse, what a train wreck, yet curiously wonderful thing you were. For the most part, the Miiverse was full of young children posting some of the worst content you could even imagine. That being said, I have fond memories of Miiverse. Posting to the Pushmo Miiverse to get help with puzzles where I got stuck. Getting the freshest memes in the Splatoon Inkopolis. Getting spoilers and other questionable content on the Miiverse stage from Smash 4. Miiverse was also the easiest way to get a screenshot from your 3DS to online to post on Twitter, Reddit, etc.
So dumb.
Fuck you, Nintendo. And of course, the crazy comments that would pop up in your game, like the classic post from Super Mario 3D World where someone posted, "This game is fun, my mom and dad have been fighting a lot." The Miiverse posts that would show up in the Waru Plaza. That's the place with all the Mii's on the homepage of the Wii U for you casuals.
I did not realize that.
Thank you very much, Shredberg. I was like, I don't know.
The Waru Plaza.
Plaza. Did actually convince me to buy a game or two. And for smaller games, game devs would use Miiverse to talk directly to the fans. The dev of the critically panned game The Letter is a good example. Right. I can only imagine what he said to the crowd. While it was, for the most part, pretty bad, it had some shining moments and is unlike anything in any other gaming ecosystem. Steam does have the Game Hub, and that is somewhat similar to Miiverse in that it's a centralized place for people to talk about that specific game. However, because there is nothing that shows up in the game, it's completely optional and most gamers probably never look at it. While I'm sure many people would see this as a negative, Miiverse posts being shown in-game for many of its first-party games made the community feel more active than it would otherwise. While I'm not sure I'll miss the Miiverse, I will say that I'm a bit sad it's leaving. I'm glad you wrote in, Shredberg, because when I put this on here, I had jack shit to say about this. This is the thing I blew past all the time. I follow bad Miiverse posts on Twitter because they're hilarious, but I was always like, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people like you and me who have predominantly interacted with it through just like internet meme nonsense and laughed at like all the shit that goes up there. But like, I did feel like every once in a while it connected into like the type of online social community that Nintendo would be really good at doing, and I've just failed at doing for like 3 console cycles now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that's kind of that type of like curated, zany, wacky, like non-linear way of communicating where it's just kind of throwing messages out into the ether and having them like
see what happens to them,
right? That kind of worked with Nintendo, and it's kind of like I feel the same way about when PlayStation Home shut down, whereas I thought like PlayStation Home, there was like a nugget of a good idea there,
and there was a dedicated community that really 100%. Loved that thing and was all over it.
And you know, it ended up sort of descending into this crazy like hyper capitalist weird
buy your shirts, here's a Ghostbusters firehouse,
right? But there was something there, and it's a shame when like an idea kind of reaches only a small percentage of its of what it could have been, and then it ends up folding. I'm disappointed to like I'm guessing the Smash 4 stage won't have that stuff in it anymore.
Probably you assume,
which is a bit of a shame. And this wouldn't be so much of a sting if they had a replacement or something else. But like, it doesn't really seem like.
But I mean, also, I mean, not to be offend anybody who cared about Miiverse, and I don't know how many people used Miiverse so much that they were like, "This is the right way to do it."
Right.
Maybe this is Nintendo being like, it's time to not grow up, but get a bit more in line with the times of how online gaming works and what people want from Nintendo when it comes to online gaming, which is basically, can we connect? Can we play? Because that's the thing. They don't even get they don't, even though Andrea would argue with me on this one, I don't think they get that much shit for their totally weird app and voice system where everybody's just like, this is stupid and I'm not going to use it. But I'm also not playing I mean,
friend codes. It's still impossible.
There's so many online things that are backwards about it that I don't care, and that's not what I think of when I think about playing something with my Nintendo system.
Right, and I mean, like, what online games are coming out for? I mean, like, Rocket League is the first example of something that I think is going to suffer from it. But yeah, it's just a shame. There was like, it was fun.
Does Rocket League, talk to me as the Rocket League expert? Like, does PC Rocket League and does even PlayStation 4 have in-game chat, or is it using party chat and stuff like that?
It has in-game chat.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. On the PC, I mean, I never use it because like the text chat's bad enough. But it does have it.
That was the thing. Anytime I played on PS4, I never heard anyone talk to me, and I never was trying to talk to anybody.
I just think about matchmaking with friends more so. Like,
I apologize.
I'm
sorry. I understand what you're saying.
Which, I mean, probably a large percentage of people just hit up randoms on it, but there will be some people who will want to buddy up. Yeah, I don't know. It gave us, like PlayStation Home, it will be remembered for the infamous sort of high points, as opposed to the sort of the general user who enjoyed it.
I'm pretty sure, didn't Shuhei get banned, or he got like put in time out for saying something about PlayStation 4 on Miiverse or something? Like, it was great. Whatever. Rest in peace, Miiverse.
Yes.
Number 3. PlayStation's having a TGS conference, everybody.
Sure
the
is.
PlayStation press conference is happening in Japan on Tuesday, September 19th. That's 4 p.m. Japan Standard Time, 12 a.m. Pacific Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So look forward to that. I'll be asleep. I'll see what happens in the morning and brief you on Kind of Funny Games Daily. Not going to stay awake on that one. Exciting.
There's so many conferences. We had this conversation last week about what Sony's going to do.
What they're going to do at Paris.
Right.
This will be a Japan-focused one, so maybe you'll see stuff that'll eventually.
And they're kind of like the load-bearing wall of TGS at this stage. Like, there's not much of a presence from any other hardware companies. TGS has definitely shrunk in the wake of Gamescom actually expanding as well. So
and just over the years, it's been withering forever.
Right.
So I wouldn't expect big stuff here, but
it kind of feels like it's really weird to say because it used to be like second only to E3, but it kind of feels like the Asian Paris Games Week almost at this stage. Like it's just like a smaller thing.
A chance to talk to that audience about those kind of games. So there'll be a lot of things I think that get announced there, and probably a small percentile of them will actually make it over here one day.
Shenmue 3.
Yeah, there'll be some Shenmue 3 news. Maybe new faces. Number 4. The original Xbox One has been discontinued.
I got a limited edition Xbox now.
We got the most limited edition.
It's so big.
Mine's all. I got Mizzou stickers all over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I bought one of those decal things from Toasty Stickers.
I once cycled to the GameSpot office with it in my backpack.
Oh, that was a workout.
It fucked me up all those hills as well. Because Titanfall had come out and I couldn't download it fast enough at home. And boy, oh boy, CBS had a real good internet connection.
Yeah, they did. First from IGN. IGN says the company ceased manufacturing the original Xbox One several months ago, but until now the console was still available for purchase through Microsoft's online store. Right now, it's just refurbished units up there. This is what tipped people off at first.
Okay.
IGN reached out for a statement, but didn't get one. But Glixel did. The statement given to Glixel was, as is typical for the console industry, we stopped manufacturing the original Xbox One when we introduced the Xbox One S.
There you go.
Cool.
Brian Crescente getting those scoops.
Makes sense. Whatever. Good on you. Xbox One S is such a sleeker, sexier unit, let alone the fact that the X is coming up now. And it's the exact same.
The least thing they need right now is to have the S, which is smaller, and then the X, which is more powerful, but then this other one,
which is bigger, hulking son of a bitch,
which implies better.
Yeah, of course,
but
exactly.
It's not,
no, it's the least. You get a Kinect in there too.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
Final story.
God, I own a Kinect. I forgot.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, mine's just shoved under the couch. Yeah. Final story, and this is the one calling back to that Nindy showcase happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Stardew Valley is incredibly close to coming to the Nintendo Switch. The CEO and designer over at Chucklefish Limited. And then his Twitter name is T.I. Yuri. I'm not sure what his full name is. He didn't have it up there. And I didn't look it up because
there's a cat right here.
Maybe there's a cat. Maybe he is a cat.
Drinking some cream.
The cat's here for the cream.
Yeah.
Cat always gets the cream, as the famous idiom goes.
Yep. That's not
Stardew. This is a tweet from the CEO. Stardew Valley Switch is coming along very well. The last known bugs have been fixed, and we're submitting for testing this week.
Woo!
Which would indicate that that's pretty much the final hurdle. Which for me would indicate that at the Nindy event tomorrow, hey, Stardew Valley is coming this day, and they give you a date. And I'm sure Nintendo's not thrilled about that tweet.
Right.
They don't want anything.
Exactly.
No. Here's my question for the Nindy's event tomorrow. I'm now predicting for sure we get the Stardew Valley date. Do you think we get a date for Rocket League tomorrow too? Rocket League came out of the blocks in Twitter yesterday saying, hey, first time you're going to be able to play Switch Rocket League is at PAX this weekend.
Oh, really?
So that's also a game that's incredibly close.
Maybe. It's weird. I don't really consider, like, I know it is an independent game. It doesn't feel Nindy-ish to me. Nindy feels to me more like Stardew, right? Like
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to get that. I'm sort of more interested. I mean, we know it's coming some stage in, like, November, right?
Yeah, they said, I think it was fall is what it was left at. But
right.
I think
so, like, what I'm kind of more interested in, I'm more interested in this Nindies event than I have been in any Nindies event.
Wow, okay.
Because the Switch now. Because, like, there's so many games coming out on us which are, like, even the small ones I'm really enjoying. Even all the Neo Geo shit that's going up there, I'm, like, getting a bunch of it. Super Strikers and enjoying that stuff. Kingdom Battle just got it there. I'm, like, I took a bunch of flights last weekend and was just, like, dying to play more games. I've burned through Sonic.
Sure.
I just want to see what they have coming out for the next, like 5 or 6 months. It's really weird because I feel like, weirdly, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, how the there wasn't that many games coming out for the Switch, but we were hoping they would be good games.
Yeah.
It turns out we got the best Zelda in forever. Kingdom Battle seems to be reviewing really well.
You just started it.
Yeah, I've literally played like 5 minutes.
I've been playing it and enjoy it. Tim loves it. Like, right. Kevin loves it too. Yeah.
We're probably going to get a really good Mario at the end of the year.
Hopefully.
And in between all that, we've gotten all these like amazing other games. I mean, even ARMS and Splatoon 2 have done really well. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Card as well. So like, they just can't go wrong at the moment. It kind of feels like.
So get more on there. I mean, like the other big one for me.
Stardew's a great fit.
Stardew's going to be great. Rocket League's going to be really exciting. But I'm super excited for Owlboy, which I had seen forever ago, and we had him on like I think our first GDC stream back in 2015.
Right.
And it was like, man, this game's great. And then it took forever, and then it finally made its way out, but it made it to PC, and I was like, man, I don't know.
Right.
And they sent me a PC code. I'm like, I love you guys, but I'll wait for it to get somewhere.
Was it the end of last year? I think it was.
I might have been even more recent than.
Well, it looks super good too, but you're right. It probably fit. That to me, that is a game that fits better on.
Well, yeah. Now that I just have it on the go, able to fuck around with it and play with it, I'm all in, son.
Yeah, Stardew is that one for me as well. I can't play it on PC. It just doesn't feel like it feels like a Nintendo game.
Sure.
Like, I mean, it's
I started it really briefly on PlayStation 4.
Basically Harvest Moon.
Because Joey Noel, kind of funny community manager, obsessed with it.
Right.
Like hundreds of hours into it. And I started on PlayStation 4 and then got distracted and I never went back to it.
Right.
I feel like I didn't give it a real shot, but I don't know if it's actually for me. I don't know. I need to look into it. Danny.
Yes, sir.
If I wanted to look into what games came out today, where would I go?
The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the kind of Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Did you get a haircut?
I did, but it's not as good as Kevin's. Kevin got the same one as me, the San Francisco special, but he let it grow out more.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got the hoof.
Yeah,
you got the hoof.
Yeah, I always have the hoof.
That's what they call
him.
Good.
Thank you. Yeah. I like your haircut, though.
Thank you.
I like everything that's happening over there. Pack a lunch, ladies and gentlemen. Tons of fucking games are out today.
Yeah, Jesus.
Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is out on Switch. Everybody who plays it likes it. Absolver is out on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Hold on one second.
Wait, I'm very confused by this.
What's wrong?
The next game that's coming up.
Oh, okay. Well, you can look up and see if I'm wrong, but while that happens, something else wants. Oh, no, actually, well, maybe it isn't. Hold on. Let me do this.
That's bizarre.
Gonna keep looking at my fingers here. I feel like you got the sticky fingers.
It's not like there's like 50 more games to talk about here.
No, it's fine. Well, a lot of people have been writing in asking, oh, man, Absolver's out. What do you have to say about Absolver? And no one here's playing Absolver. Are you playing Absolver?
No, I'm not.
No? It's like, I wish you well, Absolver. I don't know anything. Absolver's on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Ark Survival Evolved is finally out of...
Yes.
It's out of beta, limited access, whatever the fuck they're calling it.
That's the one I was like, huh.
Xbox One, PC, Mac, and Linux.
There you go.
Obduction is on PlayStation 4. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition is on Xbox One and PS4. Red Out is on Xbox One, PS4. Sonic Mania comes to PC. Woo. Recore Definitive Edition comes to Xbox One. Warriors All-Stars comes to PlayStation 4 and PC. Wind motherfucking Jammers, What Up Dave Lang comes to PS4 and Vita today. Yakuza Kiwami comes to PlayStation 4. Dead Alliance comes to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. XCOM 2 War of the Chosen comes to Xbox One.
That's ridiculous. The day Kingdom Battle comes out, they launch.
Day.
That's a free pack, I think, for owners of that game.
Well, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's DLC or anything.
Really? Because they talked to me, they did an E3 presentation about it, unless there's a different XCOM 2 expansion thing coming out.
Check it out.
When I talked, when we were talking about XCOM there, and I was like, oh, what did you think about Kingdom Battle stuff? I was like, well, did we not have a date at E3 for Kingdom Battle? That might make sense.
I take it back. It's $40 expansion pack.
Okay, cool. I thought I thought it was a full thing. I'm not sure if one of those games wasn't dated at E3.
Right.
Because he was like, oh, it was Jake Solomon. He's like, oh, well, imitation's a great form of flattery. Yeah. It's cool they're doing this. I'm mad about, but I'm wondering when whoever got the second date.
Yeah, it was like
you motherfuckers. Fishing Planet is on PS4. I think Fishing Planet's the one with the fucking awesome trailer too.
Oh my god, yeah, that trailer's legit.
Look at that. Killing Floor 2 comes to Xbox One. Grim Legends 2 Song of the Dark Swan on PlayStation 4. The Metronomicon Slay the Dance Floor comes to PlayStation 4. A lost kind of funny Let's Play we did, where they came in and we played it, and it was the dance pad because it's like it's an RPG.
Yes,
but where you're casting based on doing the dance pad. We had Tim playing. It was a really funny one, but it just got screwed up. So shout out to them. Give them a shot. Resident Evil Revelations comes to Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Rock of Ages 2, Bigger and Bolder.
It's totally snuck up on me.
Comes to Xbox One and PS4. Do you remember? Are you a Rock of Ages fan?
I played a bit of the first one.
I don't even remember what it was. I saw it today. Mitch was freaking out about it.
You're like a boulder. People played it, were into it.
How old is this game?
Rock of Ages? Rock of Ages might have been like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. And that one snuck by me, but I saw Mitch excited about it today, and it was like
it has a very like fun style to it. Yeah, the first one came out in... No, that's the movie. Keep going.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw. Well, I saw Mitch.
2011.
Mitch tweeted about all these great games coming out today. You know what I mean? And then and he was also Rock of Ages 2. And when he said that, I thought he meant the musical movie was coming out. And it was like, coming
It's like they're making a Mamma Mia 2. Why not?
Why not? Just get in there. You know what I mean? Right now, I would say my trophy / PlayStation side is tingling.
Okay.
Sneaky Bears comes to PlayStation VR. Can you find me a Sneaky Bears trailer? I don't know what the fuck that is, Danny, but that sounds like either easy trophies or it's a wacky good time.
Oh my god! The thumbnail for this video makes it look like a Five Nights at Freddy's clone. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that is a Sneaky Bear. All right.
I hate this Sneaky.
Oh no, this is a scary. This is not. This is not fun. Sneaky. This is definitely horror. There's a horror. Look behind you. Oh no. Okay, that's scary. We're gonna get back onto it. Spark comes to PlayStation VR. Still Time comes to PlayStation 4 and Vita. Surf World Series comes to PlayStation 4. Warriors All Stars comes to PlayStation 4. Man, they weren't trying on that title. White Day, a Labyrinth.
It's such a bad title. You said it twice on this list.
Did I really? Warrior All Stars in there twice? Yeah. Well, you know what I do? I mean, I've complimented them before. I just copy. Kotaku's list. They just sum it all up so well, but I don't fact check it. I don't like. I mean, go through. Come on now, I got things to do here. White Day, a Labyrinth named School comes to PlayStation 4. Getting added to Xbox One backwards compatibility. The Walking Dead Season 1, The Walking Dead Season 2, Walking Dead Michonne. So all the Telltale ones there, except 400 Days. Knack 2 has a demo up on PSN. What up? Greatest game of all time. Gonna save your lives, Lord and Savior Knack. Yeez 8 has a demo up on PSN. Friday the 13th patch is up, having smaller maps, getting rid of the team killing. I think having those spring break, you have to buy them, but DLC costumes or whatever. Okay. And then finally,
here we go.
Ladies and fucking gentlemen, it's happened. Everybody's Golf is out on the PlayStation 4.
It's golf, but finally, for everybody.
We're here, we're doing it, we're streaming right after this for 4 fucking hours playing with Twitch subs. Yes.
How many holes is that?
That's gonna be a lot of holes.
Like 200
It's gonna be a lot of holes. No. I'll read the question next.
All right.
Slickerus, PSN and Twitter, said like licorice with an S. Thank you, got it, Slickerus. Comes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, Greg, as a long time Everybody's Golf fan, got the Vita Plat. Fuck that trophy, by the way. 5 fucking years. The day we have been waiting for has finally arrived. That son of a bitch is pre-ordered, pre-downloaded, and waiting to go, but help. I'm having a moment of doubt. What if it's just the PS3 game with some broken online minigames? What if the beautiful 3-button press swing has been replaced by some crazy punk-ass analog bullshit? What if super backspin has been replaced by some more realistic garbage? Who the fuck am I kidding? I'm still going to plow a bunch of time into this game. See you on the fairway. Michael. # drive for show, putt for dough.
Sure, all right.
Everybody's Golf is fucking amazing.
Those problems.
None of that happens. No, he's just worried. It doesn't matter. He's leading to being a fan. I'm such a huge Hot Shots fan. Like I found that series with OpenT 1 on PSP, reviewed OpenT 2, played it on PS3, played it on Vita when it came out. Right. This is literally. I'm going to talk about it in the Gamescast in, I'm sure, even more depth. But when I started this up, I told Andy yesterday, because it's one of those, Andy's obsessed with it now too, so is Joey. Like, it's spreading around the office that we're all getting way too into this. And when I booted it up, when we got the code and played for the first 20-30 minutes, there was a point where I put down the headphones and went to get water, and I teared up. Like, it's legitimately everything I've wanted out of this series. Like, after seeing them, when OpenT and OpenT 2 happened, because they're pretty much the same game, like, such a big part of it's customizing, getting items, doing these different things. It was like, oh, this is cool. I can't wait to see what happens. PS3 came, and it didn't really have that.
Right.
And then Vita had none of that. It was just like, change the color of your golfer's outfit. And I was like, this is moving so far away from it, because the core of the golf gameplay is so good as it is.
Right.
To jump into this and start creating a character and create, I think somebody, you can go on my Twitter, twitter.com/GameOverGreggy, or just see it here in a second. That looks so much like
yours
me.
And Andy's are spot on.
And that was the thing where I did it and I was like, oh, fuck. Shuhei's not in this game. They just made Shuhei in, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was expecting him to be like one of the golfers that was going to be there. And I was like, no, they're character creators just so, because it's got that great thing that Mii's have and that, like, the Xbox avatars have.
Yeah. Where
it's like, hey, here are all these options, and they're limited enough that everybody looks like a cartoon version of themselves. And it's not like, oh, that's wrong, or it's everything. And I built this Greg that looks just like me, and I was like, fuck, this is awesome. And I was in Vegas for 31 hours, and I brought the PlayStation 4 for the 4 hours I knew I'd have of downtime. You know what I mean? And Andy was playing till 2 a.m. and we're annoying our girlfriend, or his girlfriend, my wife, just because like all we want to do is play this fucking game. The gameplay's tight. It's awesome. You're gonna see it here on Twitch in a little bit. You can check out the archives if you're listening or watching later. But
what's the asking price?
I think it's $40, right? I think it's one of the. Give me a check there, a dummy check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the cheaper ones. But
I'm excited.
I'll talk even more about this because I'll have even more to say when we get to Gamescast this week. For now, though, new dates.
Ooh.
Super Beat Sports is coming to Switch from Harmonix. This is coming in the third quarter of 2017 on the eShop. IGN describes it, Super Beat Sports is a sports game with a musical twist, according to the developer. The game is based on the Apple TV game Beat Sports and includes console exclusive content and features. So it's a Harmonix weird sports game with music. All right, sounds great. Fire Emblem Warriors is coming to Switch on October 20th. Voltron VR Chronicles comes to PlayStation VR September 26th. And that's not some weird title thing. That's a real Voltron game with the fucking Voltron robot and all that jazz. Good for you. The Inpatient. This is Supermassive's VR game, of course, the Until Dawn guys. This is the prequel to Until Dawn. This is coming out November 21st, and then Bravo Team in the same vein coming to PlayStation. Oh, these are both PlayStation VR games. Right. Bravo Team coming out December 5th.
That answers my PSVR question from last week. There you go, 3 more games coming out.
Well, and the Inpatient was one I'm super stoked about because that looks like, hey, we're making you this horror game. It's going to be creepy as fuck. I'm just more, I mean, I understand it doesn't matter, but I was like, man, that seems like it would have been a great October game.
Right, yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand you need more time and whatever, but like Inpatient, and it's also, I think Until Dawn did the exact same thing, where Until Dawn missed Halloween, if I'm correct, and it didn't matter for that one, so it won't matter here because people love playing horror all the time. But
yeah, especially
real big Supermassive fan. So yeah,
for sure. Until Dawn was great.
What'd you find?
$40.
$40, nailed it. Woo woo woo, woo. You know what I mean, Cool Greg?
Ric Flair.
Yeah, Cool Greg knows what I'm talking about over there. Let's jump into reader mail. This is where you write into kindafunny.com/KFGD. You ask us questions, give us your questions, comments. You can pat people on the back, as some of you have. So there you go. Here's what I was looking for earlier. Benjamin wrote in, and he says, "Hello, Greg, and rotating co-host Danny. As you know, Absolver comes out today. I've been reading comments and reviews that say this game is full of great ideas, but doesn't quite capitalize on its potential." So this is, you already see how this question got in.
Right, yeah.
Because it's not about what do you think of Absolver. It's about, hey, let's take a step back and talk about the industry. With this and the general discussion around Lost Legacy, I am beginning to wonder if we are holding these kind of games to an unrealistic standard. When indie games first started to become popular, there was an understanding that these are smaller, simpler experiences. Do you think we as a community are expecting these types of games to reach the level of other AAA games?
At GDC, I was talking to a bunch of indies, which generally seems to be what happens there. A lot of indies get together and they hang out and
learn from each other, talk to each other.
For sure. It's like the one time a year. They can only afford to go to probably 2 things a year, and they always make sure to go to GDC. And one of the things that was like across the board people kept talking about was just how many indie games are coming out.
Yeah.
The fact that in previous years people would use, they would try and enter the industry with some sort of portfolio post either they've gone to college and done it, or they've worked on their own stuff and they've put it up. And what people are doing now is they're leaving college and immediately starting studios with their college friends, and then trying to release a game. And if it works, then wonderful. And if it doesn't, then that's their portfolio.
Yeah.
So what's happened is that the amount of indie games that are coming out has like something like this 5 times as much as there was about 4 years ago, which also means that the ceiling or the like watermark for quality has also risen with it.
Yeah.
So there's more like when you think of like take John Blow for instance, like The Witness, right?
Yeah.
Braid.
Yeah.
In the space of like 4 or 5 years, we've gone from. You go back and play Braid, it feels like it was made in Game Maker. Like, it's a wonderful game. I love it.
Yeah, totally.
But, like, it feels like a...
That's the curve of what we have with indies now. Yeah, yeah.
And now we've got The Witness, which is this, like, first-person crazy, you know, thing. So that's kind of where we're at with a lot of these games. Where before you could, you know... If Night in the Woods had come out 4 years ago, probably would have won, like, it would have been Game of the Year contender, right? Yeah. Like, it's that type of thing. Because it
catches you off guard.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Whereas now we have this sort of expectation of quality, and then also there's so many games coming out that for the ones to really like, for the cream of the crop, if you will.
Oh, here we go.
To rise to the top.
Yeah, never eat a pig, because a pig is a cop.
Just can drink the cream.
Yeah.
It needs to be way better than it needed to be 4 years ago. And
100%.
that's so I don't necessarily think we are holding them to a higher expectation. It's just that there are so many of them and they've gotten better that we've...
I hate this line of questioning, and I don't hate you, Benjamin, because it kind of came out yesterday too. At the end of the show, we did an Uncharted Lost Legacy spoiler cast that piggybacked off this question, where a listener wrote in and was like, "Here's what the reasons I liked it." To which I then responded like, "I don't agree with you on this, and I don't think this, blah blah blah." And then on Reddit, a person posted and was like, hey, Greg seemed like he was being hostile and had an attitude and was coming at this person. And I feel like this is in the same vein of that, of like, no, it's just, we're criticizing. This is criticism. Like, we all have different opinions about games, and that's why, Benjamin's isn't wrong if he thinks they're being held to standard. But for me, the playing field is so level now. Where it's like now we're finally starting to see AA games start popping back up. Yeah. But forever, indie it's been indie and AAA, and indie has expanded so wide that indie can mean that it's going to be a very incredible. It's going to be the most simple experience in the world, or it's going to try to be this complicated. It's going to give AAA a run for its money. Yeah. And so that when you get in here, like, are we holding them to an unrealistic standard? No, because that is the standard. The standard is all over the place. If anything, I would say, with all due respect to Benjamin's holding indie to a lesser standard, saying that, oh, well, he's very much talking how I feel like we talked about downloadable games at IGN in 2008. It's quite good for a downloadable game. The graphics are great for a downloadable game of the year, because it was like, clearly these are in this bucket and the real games are in this bucket. But right now, if everybody's out there playing on the same field, then, like, I think in the same breath, you can sit there and have that happen and everybody can go, Dream Dad, the dating simulator or whatever, right, is still competing with every other game for your attention, for your mind share, for quality standards. But of course, there is this different sliding scale. When he brings up Uncharted: Lost Legacy, I do think, that's an interesting one as well in terms of, like, what standard do you hold that to? Because it is that thing where, I'm not going to beat a dead horse because I've talked so much about this. Naughty Dog marketed as, hey, this is a $40 full-fledged Uncharted. And then when we got it, and I don't think it was a full-fledged Uncharted, it was a great game, and I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Going to go back and platinum it. That's great. But then when I'm like, well, it doesn't hold up to, and everybody's like, well, of course not. It's not a full-fledged Uncharted. But I'm like, well, that's not what we can't pick and choose the argument based on who we are, you know, or where we're at, or what side of the fence we're on. Like, it's a game and it's going to be compared to other Uncharted. Indie games like Absolver are going to come out and be compared to other indie games that have come out and been awesome. And again, I haven't played Absolver. It's a fighting game, right? I have no real interest in it from what I've seen from it or heard about it. But it's going to come out and be compared to every other game in that genre of that caliber, of that ilk. Yeah, that's just how it is, and I like that.
Expectation is like such a personal thing, and it's like so much of. I talk about beating a dead horse, like I say it every time. It's so much of why people get disappointed or are happy with games outside of just their inherent quality. It's difficult to subjectively talk about that, but like if you talk about like, you know, there's two parts to this. One is that the indie sort of space is now, it's totally muddled. We're like, let's take today, for instance. We're talking about how Grand Theft Auto Online is copying a PUBG game that was made in South Korea and Ireland, right? Yeah. Like that's the world we live in. No Man's Sky was the biggest ticket for Sony last year for a long time, right? That was made by like a tiny team. We saw how expectation management basically fucked them, right? So that's a massive part of it. But like if you take a game like for instance, like Uncharted is a very lesser version of the problem that Fallout 4 had, for instance, where Fallout 4, by any like way of rating it, it's a quality game.
Hell yeah.
It's a good game. It's technically impressive. It has shooting. It is, you know, quests are well written and all this sort of stuff. But we don't look at games in bubbles like that. We look at it as players of New Vegas and as players of Fallout 3 and
players
for
of
those
The
of
Witcher.
us who go back, players of The Witcher, exactly, or players of Fallout 1 and Fallout 2.
Yeah.
So like everyone's expectations based on something different. Fallout 4 was huge. A large part of the people who played it were probably too young when Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 came out.
Sure.
So to them, it was like the second coming of Christ, right? It was like, oh my God, it's a first-person game where it can do all this sort of stuff. So expectation is so important when it comes to this. And Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is a prime example of that, because Naughty Dog make arguably some of the best games ever for the past 10 years. They've been on a roll with Uncharted 2, 3, 4, or Last of Us. Insane, right? Even their expansion packs, Left Behind. Again, expectations, they totally summited it. This time with the marketing, the switch from DLC to a real game, all that sort of stuff, they were coming in the opposite way, where suddenly they were like trying to pitch it higher than what people were, and it landed muddled for everyone. Some people were like, oh, it was better than I expected.
Gave it
Some
10s.
people thought,
exactly.
it could have been, you know, maybe it was like Uncharted 4.5, right? I heard that a lot. So that seems to be what happened there. And the question seems to be sort of like criticizing the criticism, which is like, again, it's okay for people to like things more or less than you.
100%.
If you understand why they did, then it makes it okay. Which is why I think it's important in criticism to like sell your argument. I think you've done a really good job of selling your argument of why. I understand why you're down on it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? It makes sense to me. So, and in the same way that I can see that if somebody had low expectations for that game, it would make sense to me as well. So if we were just a little bit less defensive and reactive to things and more sort of like...
And that's the thing, I mean, all across the board, right? Of just like, I'm so sick of posting something online that I enjoy on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love it. Like, I fucking hate it. I'm like, why do you go away?
Right.
I'm just sharing. And like, then the counter argument, of course, is, well, don't you want to have a conversation? And it's like, yeah, I do, but in 140 characters, you just coming back and saying this sucks isn't us having a conversation. This is a conversation. Benjamin's doing a great job here on kindoffunny.com/KFGD, just like you can. But yeah, I love talking about all this stuff, but it's like, when it is like it hurt yesterday to go on our subreddit, and this guy's like, Greg's being really hostile. And I was like, was I? Like, I felt like when you write into the show, I don't, the way I think about it is, I'm not sitting here, I'm like, oh, well, thank you so much for your patronage and shake your hand. Like, I'm talking to you like I talk to you via the microphone.
Yeah.
So when you lay out an argument, 3 parts, I'm like, well, I don't agree with that argument because of X, Y, and Z, but maybe I came off too flippant yesterday. I'm getting in the weeds on that one. But it was like, fuck, like I want to be able to talk. And if we're going to, in this space where we're criticizing things together and talking about stuff and what we love, obviously. Oh, woe is me. This Uncharted game's not as great as the other Uncharted. Fuck you, it was a great game, Greg. Shut up. I'm sorry, Greg. Chuck writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, yeah. If Assassin's Creed Origins isn't the bounce back title that Ubisoft clearly hopes it is there a chance it goes the way of Mass Effect?
Ubisoft's biggest problem with Assassin's Creed is that they've made the manual. That they made the manual. Like, even the problem for that series is that even if they have to make an astonishingly good Assassin's Creed game to get over the hurdle that they've created for themselves. By making an annual release, they've basically like, what's the word? Like, people are exhausted with the franchise.
Well, and that, I mean, that was the most interesting part, is that X years ago, I forget what it was now, you know, Eves was like, we're going to keep making Assassin's Creed annualized until you guys stop buying them.
Right.
And then a few years later, they were like, you know what? We're taking a year off.
Yeah.
And now they're coming back with Origins. And as an Assassin's Creed fan myself, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm ready to jump back in. But my problem is, I'm just ready to jump back in because it's Assassin's Creed. Nothing I've seen or played have I been like, oh shit.
Right.
It's not like when I played Black Flag and I was like, what the fuck? This is very clearly that. And so that's the thing for me is, it's on my list of shit to play this fall, but it definitely is on that second, third string tier games to play. Where I'm going to get it, and it's not like, fucking, here we go. Open, as soon as I get it, pop it in, let's go. It's going to be, oh, I'm going to get to it when I get to it. And I think that's going to hurt it. And that is an interesting question of then, if this comes back and isn't the, Assassin's Creed is back, what does everybody think about it? Does it, because again, what you're talking about with annualizing it, right, is the fact that now that they took their, you know, they braked and now they're getting back on the highway, I would imagine the next 2 Assassin's Creed games are in production somewhere right now at Ubisoft's all over the place. And so if this one comes out and we are all like, nah, we didn't need you back just yet, what do you fucking do with those games and what happens and how do you go?
Yeah, it's a strange sort of commercial reality to be stuck in because Call of Duty isn't the same thing, right? Where those games are still making money hand over fist. Okay, the real reason Call of Duty is making money is because of all the in-game stuff that they're selling from multiplayer. But like, the games are still selling enough that it makes sense for them to. They have so much resources behind us that like it's not just a case where you can just stop making that game if the margins drop. Like, they're still doing well enough, but also you need to like shift a massive production engine onto something else. Or so it makes sense for them to keep doing it. And taking a year off will hopefully, you know, I'd say it's probably good for the team as well and good for the audience as well. But Black Flag is a really good example of that game. Probably would have had way more of an effect. It's like a sleeper hit like Far Cry 2 is, where people who played it are like super into it. But a lot of people actually skipped it because it came off the back of a bunch of tired ass Assassin's Creed games.
And it was also right at the break in consoles where it was like you get it either version or whatever. So people were like, oh well, what is this?
Sitting between the two. I mean, now they're going and making their own like online ship multiplayer game, which is like, essentially. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Skull and Bones, go get them. Maybe I'll start. Maybe I'm gonna eventually play. And be like, oh, it's like The Division. Holy shit, this is great. Right.
But like the whole thing when they did, I was like, oh, like this isn't. No, just give me a pirate game. Just let me be a pirate and give me a story outside of the Templars and the Assassins and all this shit. And I'm a pirate and we're running around doing this.
It's super hard. I'm finding it very difficult for me to accurately judge the success of Ubisoft titles because they're 2 for 2 on multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege is doing really well. I know For Honor had all that weird crap around the tournament recently, but that's doing way better than anyone expected.
Wildlands did really well too.
Of course, yeah. Oh God, yeah. Ghost Recon sold
last year did great. Like it is that thing that they have a method and they have a thing. So it is that. All right, step back and let you see how it's going to go.
And we'll see. But you're right. Everything I've seen about Assassin's Creed Origins has been, and they just released that trailer last week. With the really weird music they had.
I didn't see it.
God, names.
Run the Jewels. No. Queen.
God, I feel terrible.
Michelle Branch.
No, it's not Leonard Cohen. No, it's not. That's
Leonard Skinner.
No, it's the fucking dude with the gravelly voice.
Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong.
Jesus, I'm so sorry.
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, like I haven't seen any. Here's a way in which the gameplay is different. It's all based on we're in Egypt, which is like great. Well, we've had that trick. You were in London. You were in Paris.
Yeah.
We need
And that's what's scary about it, where it's like, I played at E3 and I was like, it's pretty, and it feels like Assassin's Creed, and I didn't fall to my death, and I enjoyed, but it was still like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this. Like, I like Assassin's Creed, so on that level, I'm excited for it, but I'm not excited, like, I have to stop what I'm doing when I get that game.
And when you, again, expectation, with an Assassin's Creed game, you know you're in for like 40 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not like another game where you can just pick it up and give it a go. Like you're either in or you're not. And I feel like that's the hurdle that they have to get over every time, which Call of Duty doesn't. Because Call of Duty is like, okay, I'll play the multiplayer and I'll get the crash bang Transformers box office sort of experience, right? Yeah. And that feels different to an Assassin's Creed where it's like, you're dedicating, especially if you don't play games all that much, you're dedicating a month of your time or whatever to this one game over another one for the same dollar amount. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what I might just sit to what people think. Like our Assassin's Creed fans, I don't even know if I consider myself an Assassin's Creed fan anymore. Like 2 and Brotherhood are fantastic, love them. Even Revelations, wonderful. 3, all right, we're getting into the weeds here, but it'll be I'm sure Ubisoft have metrics on all that sort of stuff. But we'll see, because their open world stuff, Watch Dogs 2, as fun as it was, didn't really like the world on fire either, I don't think.
Watch Dogs 2 is awesome.
I think it's a fun game. But it's like,
I love that game.
They have a problem with their world building where they make games, they make worlds that are clearly video game worlds. Yeah. And everyone else has gotten past that. And Rockstar always were past it. But like when you go and play a game like The Witcher and then you go play a game like Watch Dogs 2, it's like you designing like points of interest and stuff. Like you guys aren't doing that. You're designing quests into like a map. And I think a lot of people there's a lot of people who that does not grab. So I'm hoping that with this one they might, I don't know, change it up a bit. They make amazing games and we hold them to a high expectation. Yeah. And I think no matter what, it'll probably be a pretty good game. Ubisoft make wonderful games.
And that's the thing, is I think the game will be great. I just think it's the fact that it's alarming that I can't tell you who the main character of Assassin's Creed Origins is. Right. He's just some guy, right? Because that was the thing of like, Ezio was awesome, right? That was and they'd learned from Assassin's Creed 1 star. Oh, don't do this. What was his name? He was the guy that like nobody really liked. You know what I mean? So we moved to Ezio, and then we had an Ezio trilogy or whatever.
I'm killing myself that I can't remember.
No, I
literally played this up. I played it a month ago.
I don't want to look at anything.
I'm looking at
a PSP Go game I played. It's pretty good.
I'm looking at it. Oh yeah, I got it.
What is it?
Altair.
Fuck yes. Damn it. Anyways, he was great, and then from there, and then even Conway, Edward Conway wasn't. Check that one. Black Flag's character's name was Edward whoever, and he was a fun guy, and you liked him. You got behind him. I don't know.
There was an Irish guy in one of them.
The one that sold the least.
In the spin-off Black Flag one, remember that one? What was that called again?
Black Flag? That's what I'm talking about.
No. There was a spin-off of Black Flag.
Oh, the one that stayed on current generations instead of next generations or whatever. So there was Origins, and then there was...
and Edward Kenway. Edward
Kenway, and then everybody hated Origins, but they liked the current gen or the current PS3 360 one, but nobody played it because it wasn't next gen.
There's been a lot of games. Assassin's Creed. There was Altair's Chronicles. There was Bloodlines. There was 2, Discovery, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, Liberation, Black Flag, Freedom Cry, Rogue, Identity, Unity, Chronicles, which was China, India, Russia, Syndicate, and Origins.
It's a lot of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. That series started 10 years ago.
God bless you, Ubisoft. Let's see what happens. Vendi's coming for you. Bart AKA Beta House writes in and says, hello, Greg and Danny. Not really a question. Rather, I'm writing a little reacts to yesterday's discussion of Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I am someone that has never played an XCOM game, or at least I don't think I have. So watching Greg and Kevin play the game left me confused and wondering what was happening. This took me down a deep, dark hole of YouTube clips and this specific game. Next thing you know, I'm picking up a Switch, and my first game is Mario Rabbids.
Wow.
Yes! In all due respect to the amazing game that is Zelda Breath of the Wild, this game scratches an itch I didn't know I even had. I would just like to take a moment to give props to Nintendo for their move to put this game out there. They are giving me a game I didn't know I wanted, but now I have to have. Keep up the wonderful work, really loving Kinda Funny Games Daily, and all the amazing content Kinda Funny has been putting out since the relaunch. Have a great day, Bart. I like when people write in to praise people.
Yeah.
These guys out there making these games, they're busting their butts.
Yeah.
It's good to see that.
I feel like there are very few genres in games that have as much of a barrier as the turn-based strategy genre. If you've never played a turn-based strategy game, it's chess. Like you're just playing a different version of chess.
There's wrong moves. Yeah, you'll make wrong moves and you'll eat it.
You take your time, you place people, and that's it. And then each one's like, there's a lot of them are more complicated than others. The Masters of Orion too, and you know you can get into your sort of even XCOM to a certain degree people find very difficult.
Oh yeah,
this I think is probably going to be a really good
Mario plus Rabbids. Like I've played a lot of XCOM right on the consoles and through preview events and everything else. And the first mid boss I'm at, I tried 2 or 3 times in the plane and fucking ate my lunch. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Turn it off. I'm gonna think. I'll come back to this.
And that's like the way of those genres. Yeah. Is that like Blood Bowl and even Civ? Like Civilizations is a difficult game for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like this would be really cool if this got people into that genre.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like XCOM did as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. And I'm a fan of the original ones.
When they did, exactly. When they did
really
the Xbox 360, PS3, PC XCOM, that was definitely one where that was my first XCOM. And I jumped in, I was like, oh fuck, I really like this. This is a lot of fun.
And they did a great job of streamlining that experience without taking away what was great about the old UFO Defense or XCOM games back in the 90s. Yeah.
Final question comes from Eric. Eric writes in and says, South Park, The Fractured Butthole was apparently rated by the ESRB, according to some reports yesterday. And I want to know, do you think this means it is a lock to come out this year? I was in the camp of Greg and many others that since we have yet to really hear anything about this game, it meant a sure delay. October is a loaded month, and it really just feels like something perfect for the spring. Thanks for the ear noise, and have a conversational day, Eric. I continue to be shocked and worried that I'm going to eat my words that South Park, The Fractured Butthole will come out this year.
Yeah.
I was even when they announced the date, I'm like, okay, we'll see about that.
It's been pushed 3 times now, I think.
I think so. And then the last one, I mean, the last South Park from UB got pushed a ton.
Right.
And it was the whole THQ business too, where it went from, it got bought in the fire sale. I was just like, same thing's gonna happen here. Matt and Cherry are perfectionists. This isn't gonna hit.
Totally.
Not in a bad way. The game's gonna be. This is another one where it's like, if it comes out this year, this is I know Tim's always like, oh, it's my year, Crash Bandicoot. This is my fucking year. Patapon, a new Everybody's Golf, fucking South Park, a sequel to South Park that is all comic book based. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I love South Park and I hate like fantasy, right? But it was fun playing the original one, running around doing that. But now to have them making Marvel movie and DC movie jokes, I'm like, oh fucking hell yeah.
Do you think it feels better in Q1 of next year though? The first one came out in March.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause that was it. I remember the first one I think was going to come out in December and then got pushed really late.
Yep.
I think so, probably. But it's also that the spring's always overloaded too. It's just that pick your poison. Do you want to be the one? This could be the fall outlier of like, sure, Assassin's Creed, Destiny, Call of Duty, like Battlefront. There's going to be all these games are going to sell well and appeal to a very specific gamer. But here again is this South Park RPG, this sequel, put on a pedestal. Whereas I think it's more in the vein of next year, hey, here's God of War and here's South Park. And like those are more apples to apples, which I know sounds weird because obviously God of War is going to sell, but God of War is going to get that critical acclaim and people are going to be on podcasts. I couldn't stop playing and I did all this stuff. In the same vein South Park was when me and McCaffrey and Brian were talking nonstop about South Park, the first one. What was the subtitle?
Stick of Truth.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think the original date for this one, I remember putting together some sort of video at one stage. I think it was going to come out late December of last year.
Okay.
Because I think it wasn't going to make the Game of the Year. I think maybe that was one of the original dates it had, if I'm remembering correctly.
It all blurs.
I kind of feel like it would feel better in Q4 or in Q1 than later this year. The one thing I will say is that if there was ever a game that was going to go for as early as possible an ESRB rating, it would be South Park. Just because of the nature of the content that's in that game, they'll want to have an idea of whereabouts they're landing in terms of rating. Probably more than most, right? Because there's a lot of content in there, and also the content will be questionable of some description, right? So they're going to want to make sure they don't get an adult rating.
Of course,
essentially.
So
So maybe that's part of it as well. I don't know.
We'll see. I hope it comes out. That would definitely, like, you're talking about a game that would put Assassin's Creed or anything else that I like want to try on the back burner. That'd be it.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
It's not coming out on Switch, is it?
No. Come on now.
Dude.
Come on.
They got to do it.
They got to do everything on Switch, but we'll see. No trophies. Danny, it's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in to kindafunny.com/KFGD. You give me your name, your username, your platform, and the game you need help in, and why. I read it here. Best friends hit you up. Everybody has fun. Rakan writes in. He needs help on PlayStation 4. His PSN is Rakan Khalid 1996. RAKANKHALED 1996. This is a different kind of squad up. I was wondering if there's a Destiny 2 Kinda Funny Best Friends clan. I checked out the forum and nothing concrete comes up, and searching Bungie's website doesn't show anything. I wanted to join a clan so me and some best friends can play Destiny 2 together, and since clans are better integrated this time around with the advantages of joining clans, like rewards for completing stuff as a clan and clan banners and such, I thought it would be great. If there is one, please shoot me a message on PSN. If there isn't, should we create one to raid and explore together? I saw some kind of buzz about this on the subreddit for Kinda Funny.
All right.
I'm challenging everyone to figure it out and do one. I don't want fucking 15 Kinda Funny ones. I want to join one and just have it be the one. So I need the forums and the Reddit and the Facebook. Unite in your trilogy here. Discord, you're in there somewhere too. I still don't understand your platform. Exactly. And figure out how we get one Kinda Funny Destiny 2 clan together so we can all join and have a good time. Danny.
Yes, sir.
What did we get wrong today?
We got a couple.
Remember, if you're watching the show live on Twitch, you can go to kindafunny.com/you're-wrong. Tell us what we screwed up.
All right, our board capital is big. First of all, XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, only comes out on PC today. The Kotaku article was wrong. It's out on
Kotaku!
Xbox One, PS4, September 12th.
Thank you very much.
It's not that long to go. Absolver, also not out on Xbox One, it's out on PS4 and PC only.
Xbox tomorrow?
He
doesn't say? Okay. I gotta start fact-checking these Kotaku kids.
We also have a bit of editorializing happening there.
What a surprise.
Titan Matrix. Greg, the Friday the 13th update brought bug fixes and small maps, but not any of the new DLC like the Spring Break costumes.
Oh, somebody told me on Twitter it was
up. Those are coming soon, apparently.
Okay, my apologies.
Until Dawn actually came in August. The end of August.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Apparently.
We're fucking wrong a lot today.
We forgot a game. We forgot this little gem on the PlayStation Vita called Licky the Lucky Lizard Lives Again.
I heard... I hadn't heard of this game.
It's a lot of alliteration.
Until I heard it. I think it's from the people who made that Tiger game nobody liked.
Okay. Oh, Tony the Tiger?
No.
Tugs again?
Tony the Tiger?
Tugs his tail?
Tugs his tail. That's what he's tugging, all right.
Cream of the crop. Assassin's Creed trailer was by Leonard Cohen, so I was right, actually. It was Leonard Cohen. You Want It Darker. And I think that's it, buddy. Right. Very important one from Spasmgasm. Adult cats are generally lactose intolerant. Doesn't stop them licking that cream, though.
Final segment, everybody's golf is awesome. Sean Patrick wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, Greg, not so much a question, but more of an exclamatory statement. Everybody's golf is fucking awesome. Like you said on Instagram, it's everything we've wanted in a Hot Shots golf game for years. The open world, razor sharp controls, and pure fun with the gameplay all adds up to one fantastic gaming experience. So, where's the love for the major review/outlets? I'd love to spend my day on the links. However, 8th grade English won't teach itself. Love to all of you, as always, Sean Patrick.
Was there early copies of it sent out to people?
There were, but so this is something interesting. The other day on Twitter, a best friend hit me up, and it was just, at Game Over Greggy explained to at Dan Stapleton why Hot Shots matters. And I was like, what? And I clicked in and it was Dan at IGN. And somebody asked him like, hey, when's the Hot Shots review going up? Or Everybody's Golf review going up? And he's like, we're not doing one.
Right.
He's like, we're going to put up some footage. And he wasn't being a jerk about it. He's like, I'm not saying the game's bad. It's just that nobody, this through many tweets, obviously. He's just like, nobody really cared when we put it up.
Right.
And this guy was writing to me like, oh, no, you got to convince him otherwise, Greg. And I'm like, well, no, like, that's what's awesome about right now is the fact that, hey, guess what? Like the smallest game will get covered by somebody, a smaller site that has a passion for it and has history in it and stuff. I totally get why. And Everybody's Golf might not make sense for IGN to review.
Any organization has to pick their battles, and you may remember 20 minutes ago the amount of games we listed off as new releases, and then imagine that for the next month, and people already have games.
And there's a reason you're not coming to us for Absolver news, right? Because it's just like you got to play to your passions and do what your audience wants. Our audience is a PlayStation-based audience; they love this stuff. That's why we're about to stream Everybody's Golf for 4 hours, playing with Twitch subs. But I won't bend your ear about it, YouTube and podcast kids. Instead, I'll thank you all for listening to Kinda Funny Games Daily. Remember, each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the video game news you need to know about. You need to be part of the show by going to kindafunny.com/KFGD. Leave questions for tomorrow based on the biggest news of the day. And remember, it'll be Andrea on the show with me. Golf Now.
I'm back Thursday.
Danny's back Thursday, if you want to get that out there too. PAX is coming up. Patreons are happening. If you tip today on the Twitch, we do give it to the Hurricane folks.
Do it.
Yeah, that's the big stuff. I'm going to go get into my golf gear. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.